All right, let's kickstart this day, just in case you guys are not already fired up. If you can open to page number 57, I believe. And we're going to move all the way to page 59. You know, you've heard us talk quite a bit about one-on-one sessions and how to hold an effective training meeting. And I think by now you have somewhat of an idea of how to hold an effective training meeting. But now what I want to do is I want to go over how to hold an effective one-on-one meeting. I want to break it down to very simple terms where you're able to see what needs to be done and what needs to be accomplished. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get in. A good coach will make his players see what they can be rather than what that they are. So our focus when we're having one-on-one is not time to reprimand people. It's time to do what? Build them up. Bring them to the level that we want to. Hold them accountable, but in a very, very positive way. Questions about one-on-one. Which employees should we have one-on-ones with the managers? I love you guys. This is going to be really simple. All. Which managers should hold one-on-ones with their people? The questions will get harder as we go. All. All right, here we go. How many employees should be on a one-on-one? Anybody? All of them? All in the same one-on-one? Bring up. This is a group one-on-one. How many? One. Anybody got an answer? Joe, I saw you hold two. Two. You put two people, maybe three. I agree. There's some employees that you need to make sure that you're alone with that person. But if you got a really great guy going and they got a similar personality and things are going very well, or if you want to mix things up, you can put 2, 3 people in the same one-on-one as long as you are prepared for them. And I'll explain what prepared means. And more importantly, they need to be prepared. See, the time that they're going to spend with me, if I'm going to, as a manager or an owner or a dealer, that I'm going to go out and do one-on-one, there's certain things that the employee is going to come to me and he's going to have with him. For example, he's going to know how many cars he's got out. He's going to know how much is the average. He's going to know what deals here or there. He's going to know a lot of things that prepares him and qualifies him to have the one-on-one with me. Also, I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared so I can qualify for the time that I'm going to spend with this human being. Because it's what? An earned right to spend time with these people. So, the purpose of one-on-one, guys, is this. We meet our salespeople every day to accomplish 3 important tasks. Number 1, set and review goals. Now, should the goals be something that we grab from the air, or should they be written? Written. And if they're written, should they have a date? And should they have gates that you check between those dates? I am going to be at 182 pounds. Currently, I'm right under 200. At what point do I need to be in the lower 190s? At what point do I need to be in the higher 180s? And at what point do I intend to take my clothes off and get on the scale and squeak by the 182? These are the gates. So the goals needs to have gates. In a salesperson idea, I said, I want to have a rolling average of 15. Where at one point does he have to have a rolling average of 13? These are the gates that we're talking about. And it could be on a more of a daily or monthly. For example, this guy, I'm going to master 3 scripts this month. I'm going to master 3 scripts this month. Now, can anybody tell me what master mean?
Do it so you can't get it wrong.
Okay, that's a good definition. Anybody else? How about knowing it for word? Well, Helmy, I really don't want to know it for word. Okay, well, you need to know it word for word, and then if you want to put your own lingo in it, it's okay. Make sense so far? Any questions so far, guys? Matt? Yep. Okay. Number 2, for the one-on-one sheet. Work what? Deals. See, my focus is not to have a psychology, pump up, what's your problem, what's your issues, I'm going to solve them one-on-one. My purpose is to make all the things we do it for what? Everybody right now at the same time. To sell a car. We train to sell a car. We work out in the morning so we can have the energy to sell a car. We go to seminars because we want to get better at. We drive to our work, not to wreck the guy beside us, but to actually get to work so we can what? That's exactly right. So my goal in 101 is work deals. How can you help your guys to work those deals? Well, it's very simple. Some of our guys are scared of calling certain customers. This is where you tell your guy, listen, where is your hottest 3-4 deals out here? Whether the customer gets along with you or not, I need to see your hottest 3 deals. Some of your guys are just scared of taking the deal to their F&I person. He could think that F&I person is having a bad day. Somebody just ran over his dog. And he's scared that he's going to go there. So what you do is you grab that deal and you go up there and you say, let me see this deal. And then maybe after the 101, you grab the deal, go to the F&I guy and say, man, listen, Billy Bob right here, he's fired up. He's ready to sell a car. And I told him that we got the best F&I guy in the country. You can use little reverse psychology. Billy Bob said that you're the best. I told him you couldn't close a deal or get a deal approved if it hit you on the side of the head. I told him you are worthless. But he said, you're the best. Now, who are you going to prove right? Here's the deal. I don't know why I'm giving you this deal. But Billy Bob, you might want to check with this guy. And you walk away. So whichever way you want to do it, whether it's negative or positive, you might want to just help him with the deal. And then you might just need to pick up the phone and call the customer. Listen, this is Helmi Felfel, one of the managers here at XYZ Motors. And Billy Bob just told me what a great customer you are. And I just want to personally call you and say, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity to earn your business. Now, I see that you have looked at this particular car. Was there any questions that you want me to ask? And without a doubt, just the fact that you're a manager, boom, here come, they spill their beans. And they tell you how to put a deal together. You might, if you have the skill, the talent to call a bank, you might want to pick up the phone and try to get the deal approved. Hey, guess what? If you're a dealer and you're doing 101 with your top salesperson, it might be a great idea for you to do what? Call the bank and say, look, I've got my top salesperson right here beside me. This is Joe McCloskey. I've looked at this deal. I've talked to the customer personally. I think this customer will pay you. Now, I don't know how we can put this deal together because, as you are aware, I know a little bit about finance, but I'm not as good as you do. You're the expert. You're the buyer. Can you tell me how to put this deal together? And watch him. Watch that bank take his hat and switch it and becomes a car guy and put that deal together for you. But that's the part of 101. Now, how valuable is that 101 with your top salesperson? How valuable? Can you put $1 on that? Helmi, are you kidding? You mean to tell me that I need to do 101 with my top sales? You need to do 101 as a general manager or an owner with your top 20% of your organization. They deserve your time. You know why? Because they will produce 80% of the production of the entire company.
I've got a question.
Sir?
Spend more time with the top producers or more time with the lower producers?
I spend time with my top producers. As a matter of fact, this is a good time for me to tell you that I spend no time with anybody selling less than 10 cars. None. Zero. As a matter of fact, I don't want to meet him coming across the hallway. If I'm walking across the hallway and he's tracking less than 10, or he's under 10 cars, or, you know, for the last 2 months he sold less than 10 cars, I need him to make a left or a right. And if there is no exits, dig through. Get away from me, because you're a casualty that's about to happen. I don't like you. God told me to love you. I will do that. God told me to respect you. I will do that. But like you, I will not. As a guy who sold less than 10 cars. A manager that doesn't know a close other than, can I help you? Or, if I can, would you? And he's not looking to improve himself. He needs to go away. And I put that kind of pressure on the guys for a reason. Because we're about excellence. And when we demand excellence for people and show them how to do it and guide them, it's okay. They will rise to that level. So, who do we spend time with? I always spend time with the guys that deserve it. Now, should I be courteous to the people that are selling 11 or 12 cars? Absolutely. Should I love on them? Absolutely. But get my time? Pass. Negative ghostwriter. The pattern is full. Every one of them does. The top guy, the lower guys. The 25, 45 car guy, or the 15 car guy, or the 11 car guy, or the 8 guy that is trying to get to what? 10. They all have to attend training. Speaking of time, let's say that's one of you guys, this is just a real quick thing. One of your top guys decides that he wants to take his girlfriend or his wife to dinner. Not only the answer is yes, here's a couple of $100, here's a limo waiting for you, and I'll make sure everybody knows that. Because to the victor goes the spoils. Again, there is nothing more unfair than the equal treatment of unequals. The guy that is selling 11 cars and he wants time off, pass. Negative. Not going to happen. You work your schedule. The guy that's selling 16, maybe a little flexibility here or there. The guy that sells 25, is there a no in my vocabulary for a guy that sells 25 plus? Is there a no? Never. Unless he says, I want to skip trading. Then that's a big no. Okay, going back, moving right in there. You want to help those guys during the 101 to put a deal together. That's your goal of the 101. Execute a personal improvement plan. What is the things that I've suggested about personal improvement? 3 things. Who can remind me? For you to have a personal growth, number 1 is? An hour of what? An hour of power. During that hour of power is books, tapes, CDs, and workout, right? Awesome. Number 2, 3 seminars a year. 2 for your business, 1 for yourself. And number 3, stop hanging out with who? Losers. Now you say, Helmi, well, they're all human beings. They're all God people. Yeah, there is. That's true. But that's why God made heaven and hell, right? Okay, now the way you have to improve the salespeople, you have to tell them, for example, master 1 new word track each week. Now, seriously, after a year, if you make somebody stick to this program, how good is that person going to be? How capable is he or is she to make a lot of money? Okay. Read 1 new book or listen to 1 CD. Do you have to motivate those people if they're reading a book or listening to a CD? Or is it something where they come in and start challenging you and said, you know what, that's some really good stuff. I tell you what, you're teaching the class. And we already heard how Doug asked you to teach a class. Gives you a month worth of notice. 2 weeks from now, you need to tell me what your outline. A week from now, we're going to have a mini class, so make sure you don't throw a grenade and lose all my people, right? Okay. Now, continuing with that, should you keep, for example, one of those sheets in a separate folder for each and every one of your sales guys? The 101 sheet. Should you design one to follow? By the way, we designed one for you. It's at the end of the book. I'll share it with you at the end of this particular session, and we'll talk about it. But every one of our salespeople, every one of our managers had a folder. It's kind of neat. It's like really kind of strange, because you walked in the tower and there was 15 folders, right? And some of them kind of took a life of their own. They started having, stickers on them and stars. And, all the guys like to be a little bit different. And we kind of allowed them to do it. We didn't have them build a shrine around the folder, but they were proud of the fact that the folder is getting thicker and thicker and thicker. I had one of my top guys selling 35, 40 cars a month. Let one day pass by without me doing 101 with him. He gave me all kind of heck about that deal. Hey, boss, can we have 101? Boss, where's my 101? And he's like this. Aggravating. Can I have 101? I'm on the bank with the phone. Can I have my 101? Go away from my 101. I asked one of my, take him away from me before I beat him up. It's 101, boss. You got to go do 101. Because the managers know every time we do 101 with him, there is a deal or two, because he makes me call one of the lenders. And why wouldn't I want to do that? See, we get busy and we say, I'm busy. Well, I know what you're busy with. We already all agreed to it, didn't we? We're busy putting out fires. We're busy doing other people's work. We're busy doing their work for them. Well, what I want to do is what? Empower them to do what? Their own, but more importantly, I want to give them my core value, my belief, and I want them to learn from the best. Now, some of you guys say, well, I don't want them to learn from me. Well, it's okay. You have time. Let's improve, and then you can teach them. In the meantime, let's make sure that the one-on-ones are still being done. Tell me, I have a dealership, and that doesn't happen. Can I still sell cars? Obviously, you can. You're already doing it. But if you're thinking about going and taking those quantum leaps, that's what needs to happen. Some of you guys say, well, I've been in business for 20 years, and I didn't have to do that. That's okay. Go ahead and freshen up that resume. Clean it up. Because you're going to be using it. The business have changed. And if you're successful right now and you're not doing these things, you're on borrowed time. As a dealer and as a manager, you're on borrowed time. And if you're a manager, you're a lot luckier than the dealer, because as a dealer, you're going to lose all your money. As a manager, you just go get another job. You might get to restart. But when that money is gone as a dealer, it's pretty hard for a bank to come and tell you, hey, it's okay, I know you screwed this deal up 4 or 5 times, but I'm willing to give you $2 more million to make it happen, right? Do they do that, Joe? Matt? Do they do that? What do they say? What do the banks say, Matt? What's your track record, right?
They know your track record, yes.
They know it before you know it, right? And don't they tend to give you money when you don't need it? So, what are some of the rules? 3 keys to success. 1, page number 60, gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen. They must be consistent. That means every day. No exceptions. Once you start placing the other tax ahead of the 101, guess what? It will lose its effectiveness. See, they're your kids. Whatever inch you give them, they will take a mile. If you give them a mile, they're going to take the world. And aren't we all on a pedestal where everybody is watching us? The minute we do one thing wrong, don't they say, I see your one thing that you did wrong, and here's 10 more. Don't they? It's not fair. It's not right. But it's okay. You're going to be in the VIP lane and walk in front of all those nice people that wrap way around the club to get in a club or in a restaurant. And you're just going to have to walk in and say, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you guys. Yeah. Cold out here, isn't it? Yep. And you're like, let's get in. Because you did these things and other people didn't. Okay. They must be on purpose. It's not time to visit about family. It's not time to visit about the Patriots. It's not time to visit about the Eagles. It's not about that. It's about this job. Now, when you're having a guy that is totally what? Messed up. He's having crisis, man. The last thing you want to do is go and pat him on the back and tell him, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay for you to come to work doing this. You got 2 choices. 1, lift him up. He's either acting like 100% or send him home. You can't motivate a crapped out individual. All he's going to do is spread that disease among all your salespeople, managers, and worse, your customers. The customer said, man, I was excited about buying a car, but right now I'm thinking about killing myself after I met one of your salespeople. Come on. All right. How long the 101 should take? Max. Just keep it at 15. You know, I know some of you, when I say 15, you're going to stretch it to 20. All right, so I'm just going to keep it at 15. Because if I say 20, you're going to stretch it to 25. And that just gets too long. They're not going to, you know, you all are ADD. He's ADD. The salesman is ADD. His mother is ADD. His father's ADD. The only person that's not ADD is your office manager. But you all are ADDs. And the fact that I'm keeping all of you here in a room, I should get a Nobel Prize, right? So that being said, let's just focus on the fact that we're ADD, and let's just do it 15 minutes and move on. Right? Okay.